Hello, everyone. Welcome to 55 and 5. It's Cary Silkin, Ian Riccaboni, our producer AJ from Bisson Creative and Web Design, and we are here today to talk about the 1955 Parkhurst Wrestling card set. Cary, we're going to Canada, and that makes sense because that's where the card set's from. So that makes a lot of sense on paper. But we're going to be talking about Mr. Canada today.
And we're at number 50.
49.
Oh, we're at 49. Oh.
Yeah, I know. We're getting closer. But this is number 49 today. It's number 31 in the set.
4 and 9 equals 13. I'm in trouble.
Well, we'll see, because this man...
Maybe it's good luck for me today.
Yeah, he starred with 3 of your favorite actors. I'll give you that hint, yeah.
3 of my favorite actors.
We'll take a look here. Mr. Canada himself... Sammy Berg.
Well,
interesting to note, they didn't frame that photo very well. Half of his hand is cut off on one side. He's got some white space on the other side.
Well, I don't know a damn thing about Sammy Berg, but he's got a hell of a body.
He does. Legitimate Mr. Canada.
Right. And he earned it based on this photo. You know, we're talking about pre-enhancement substances.
Yeah.
And
or even pre-diet nutrition knowledge. You know, that was tougher to come by back then.
So I'm going to jump into the damn safety net.
Yeah, the safety net is here, and we shall use it.
I want to know about these actors. You got me 3 of my favorites. So please lay it on me, buddy.
Well, if I started to come at you like this, what would you do? Yeah. So Sammy Berg starred in the Three Stooges film, Cary.
Cool.
Yeah. So he was in the Three Stooges Meet Hercules.
Okay. So do you have a year, boss?
62. Yeah.
So what version of the Stooges would this have been? We have the the classic Moe, Larry, Curly
trio.
They're the
they're the core,
right? And then of course you had Shemp,
right,
who was Moe's brother.
Yes,
right?
who
Shemp Howard
is kind of in 2021 is now getting kind of a career resurgence. I just read an article about why you shouldn't sleep on Shemp.
Okay, I'd like to hear more about that. But continuing with the Stooges, then you had, and I just heard Jim Cornette talking about somehow the Stooges came up. I always liked him, but he was torn apart by the Stooge fans. The great Joe Besser.
Oh, okay.
There was Joe Besser and Curly, and there was Joe DeRita.
Okay.
Joe Besser, you don't remember him, huh?
No,
He was in the 50s, some of the later 50s ones, they were at it. And Joe Besser, he had like an effeminate, sort of like an effeminate Freddie the Weeper.
There you go.
But so I anyway, in the 62 version of the Stooges, I'm just curious of who would have been the 3.
I assumed Curly, Larry, and Moe, but that's a bad assumption on my part.
I don't think it was Curly, but
no. I think you're right. I think it would have had to been the next set. But he got an interesting start. He was Mr. Canada. He debuted in 1949 as a wrestler and became Mr. Muscle Beach when he moved to California. And so he was one of the early pioneers on the...
hanging out in Venice Beach.
Yeah, hanging and banging in Venice Beach. Named the top international amateur athlete in the world shortly thereafter. In the early 50s, yeah.
I wonder who
bestowed the honor. Right. Yeah, it doesn't say what organizing body did that, but in 1955 he moved to LA and hit it big there. He is, to my knowledge, the only person still living from this set. So that's an interesting note. And I mentioned his internet. The hint was his Internet Movie Database page is maybe a little embellished. It says there he fought Joe Louis, the boxer. It says there he fought Buddy Rogers. It says he wrestled at Madison Square Garden. I can't find any record of any of that happening. There's a match against Buddy Rogers, but it's in
Montreal
or Toronto.
Okay.
It's not at Madison Square Garden like his IMDb page says.
I got another. I'm going to have to look myself, but I would just guess that his last name was probably Bergman or Bergenstein, and maybe he was a Jewish man.
Well, his real name is Samson Burke.
Okay.
Berke. So that there wasn't a
maybe
name.
He came from another Canadian wrestling family, the Burks.
The Leo Burke?
Leo Burke.
Yeah.
And the rest of that group.
Possibly, although it didn't come up. He was in a movie called Vengeance of Ursus, which I've never heard of, but apparently did okay at the box office. He's in one episode of I Spy in 1967, and then had a couple bit parts here and there throughout his life. He always pretty much played a strong man.
Okay.
But he had some good success. Enrico Torres was his tag team partner, which is a name I've seen.
Yes.
I don't know much about Enrico Torres.
I just know the name.
Yeah, he was mostly a Canadian mainstay, Maple Leaf Wrestling. And same thing with Sammy Berg. He wrestled a lot when he started in Toronto, and then wrestled a lot in LA when he moved out to do some acting. And that's all we know, but still alive, 91 years old. I think the only living member of the set, which is kind of wild.
Well, maybe we can get in touch with him.
Right. Yeah. I mean, it's worth a shot, right? I mean, I don't know of anybody else that's coming up that would still be around. So,
hey, this is our only chance to fill in the ghost.
To find Ken Colley. Yeah. But I mean, oh, geez. That mystery. If anybody knows anything about Ken Colley, please let us know.
Well, how do we know Sammy Berg's alive?
That's true, too. Yeah. I mean, there was no obituary. His Wikipedia is pretty well kept up to date because he did have a number of great accomplishments in the bodybuilding world and then acting. So his Wikipedia still says he's living, and his IMDb still says he's living. So working under the assumption that as of today, February the 16th, 2021, that Mr. Berg or Mr. Burke is still with us.
We hope so.
Yeah.
And let's do some more research on this guy. I'm going to do some more.
Okay. Well,
it's very interesting.
We're going to look up Sammy Berg, and that's a fun one for number 49. Cary, the road gets a little tougher tomorrow.
Aye.
We have a guy we have the inverse of Ken Colley. We have a ton of newspaper articles, but no match listings. So that's a weird hint. And we'll talk a little bit more about him tomorrow at 8 p.m. right here on YouTube, 55and5.com. What do you think?
I'm looking forward to it.
All right. Please join us tomorrow where we have an interesting one. We've had a ghost, and this one might be the inverse of a ghost where there's plenty of public record, but no record of the public record.
And if you want to hear these in groups of 5 in the audio version on ad-free shows, you could delve into a nice hour's worth of this information.
Yeah.
Or just go to YouTube.
Absolutely. Well, we're having fun doing it. Thank you, AJ, our producer. Thanks, Cary. And thank you for watching 55 and 5.